In a world filled with chaos, distractions, and uncertainties, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, as if life's relentless storms sweep us away. But what if I told you that within us lies a source of unshakable strength, a quiet fortress of peace, and a mind capable of overcoming any challenge? The Stoics believe that true power doesn't come from controlling the world around us, but from mastering the world within us. Imagine navigating life's turbulence with calm, reason, and resilience. Picture yourself no longer shaken by external events, but instead grounded in a sense of inner control that nothing can disturb. This is the wisdom of Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches us how to survive and thrive in the storms of life. This video will explore timeless Stoic principles to help you unlock your undefeatable mind. From embracing fate with grace to mastering emotional resilience, these lessons will show you how to harness the strength you already possess. If you're ready to embark on this journey towards self-mastery, consider subscribing to the channel for more insights on living with purpose, strength, and wisdom. Don't miss out on discovering the Stoic within you. 1. Awakening the unconquerable mind. Have you ever felt you're being tossed around by the chaos of life, like a leaf in the wind with no control over your path? Finding a sense of peace or stability can seem impossible in these moments. Yet, the Stoics believe that each of us has an inner sanctuary, a place of unshakable strength, untouched by the turbulence of the outside world. This fortress is the mind, and once we learn to master it, we become the true rulers of our lives. Imagine standing on the shore of a vast, stormy ocean. The waves crash with fury, the winds howl, but deep beneath the surface, the sea remains calm and undisturbed. Our minds can be just like this, serene and centered, no matter how chaotic the external world may seem. The great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." It's not the events around us that disturb our peace, but how we perceive and interpret them. A traffic jam, a rude remark, or a spilled cup of coffee only upset us because we allow them to. By shifting our focus inward, we see that our mind is the only thing we truly control. This perspective shift opens the door to immense inner peace and resilience. Think back to a time when something small ruined your day. It may have been a minor inconvenience, like being late to work or dealing with an unkind person. The Stoics teach us that we have the power to change how we react to these moments. We prevent unnecessary stress and emotional turmoil by training our minds to filter these experiences through a lens of reason and calm. Realizing that the key to happiness lies entirely within ourselves is empowering. Start with small, daily practices. Ask yourself at the end of each day, what weakness did I overcome today? What strength did I build? This reflection, coupled with mindfulness and meditation, will gradually awaken the undefeatable Stoic within you, allowing you to navigate the storms of life with unwavering calm. 2. Embracing rational resilience. Why can some people remain calm and composed when faced with life's challenges while others fall apart? The Stoics believe that the answer lies in the power of rational thinking. Reason is our guiding light through the darkest times, a fortress protecting us from the battering rams of fear, anxiety, and anger. By embracing rationality, we build an inner resilience that no external pressure can break. Picture your mind as a strong fortress. Emotions like anger, fear, or panic are the forces trying to breach its walls. But the Stoics teach us that we can withstand these emotional attacks by reinforcing our rational faculties. Marcus Aurelius said, "If any external thing pains you, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your judgment about it." The implication is clear. Much of our suffering is self-inflicted, coming from impulsive judgments rather than the events themselves. Think of a time when you reacted impulsively, a heated argument, a rash decision, or a moment of panic. Later, when the storm passed, you likely regretted your reaction. The Stoics offer a powerful remedy. Pause, reflect, and let reason guide your response. Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, observed, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." By taking a moment to analyze a situation calmly, you can prevent unnecessary distress and often find a solution more aligned with your values. In today's world, where distractions are constant and emotions run high, this kind of rational resilience is more important than ever. Modern Stoics suggest practical exercises to strengthen the mind, such as negative visualization, a technique where you imagine potential challenges ahead of time so you're mentally prepared when they occur. This practice reduces the shock and emotional impact of real-life obstacles. Another helpful exercise is journaling. Reflect on the day's events each evening and analyze your emotional responses. Were they based on reason or driven by impulse? Challenge any irrational thoughts by asking yourself, is this belief true? What evidence supports or refutes it? Regularly engaging in this reflective process builds a stronger, more rational mind capable of handling life's pressures with clarity and composure. The choice is yours. Will you let emotions control your reactions or build your mental fortress through reason? By embracing rationality, you'll develop an unshakable resilience, able to weather any storm life throws your way. 3. Accepting fate with grace. Amor, Fati. Do you often resist life's circumstances, wishing things had turned out differently? It's a natural response that usually leads to frustration and despair. The Stoics, however, offer a liberating perspective. Amor, Fati, the love of fate. Rather than fighting against what happens, they encourage us to embrace all good and bad events as necessary parts of our journey. By aligning with this mindset, we unlock a profound sense of peace and freedom. Imagine a river flowing effortlessly towards the sea. It encounters obstacles, rocks, fallen trees. But instead of resisting, the river simply adapts, finding new paths and continuing its journey. This is the essence of Amor, Fati. Life will inevitably throw unexpected challenges in our way, but instead of viewing them as setbacks, the Stoics teach us to accept them as opportunities for growth. Epictetus, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, advised, "Don't seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do happen." Think of a time when something unexpected disrupted your plans, a failed job interview, a relationship that ended, or a sudden change in circumstances. It's easy to resist these events, to become bitter or stressed. But what if instead you embraced them? What if you saw them as part of a larger design guiding you toward becoming more robust and wiser? Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together." Modern Stoics like Ryan Holiday expand on this idea, encouraging us to turn obstacles into advantages. Challenges, when embraced, can help us develop virtues such as patience, courage, and wisdom. Every difficult moment is an opportunity to practice resilience. By accepting what life brings, rather than resisting it, we free ourselves from frustration and open ourselves to personal growth. To make this perspective a daily practice, start with simple affirmations. Each morning, remind yourself, "I embrace whatever today brings. I will find value in every experience." Throughout the day, when faced with difficulties, pause and remind yourself that these moments are not hindrances, they are chances to grow stronger. In the evening, reflect on how accepting events as they unfolded affected your mood, your stress levels, and your overall perspective. You move through life calmly and confidently by learning to accept fate gracefully. The Stoic belief in Amor, Fati teaches us that even the most unexpected turns in life have a purpose. Are you ready to let go of resistance and embrace the flow of life as it comes? 4. Building the inner citadel. Have you ever felt vulnerable to the opinions, actions, or judgments of others, as if your happiness depended on external validation? The Stoics believed that true strength comes from within, and they taught the concept of the inner citadel, a mental fortress where you can retreat, find security, and maintain your peace no matter what happens around you. By building this fortress inside yourself, you become impervious to the negativity and chaos of the outside world. Visualize yourself as a castle standing atop a hill, fortified against storms and invaders. While the winds may howl and enemies may gather at your gates, within your walls lies calm and control. The Stoics taught that our minds can be like this fortress, secure and robust, if we cultivate that inner strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Men seek retreat for themselves, houses in the country, seashores and mountains. But nowhere can a man find a retreat more peaceful or free from trouble than in his soul." This means that the most peaceful place is always within you, no matter where you are or what is happening. Consider how often criticism, negativity, or even praise from others affects your mood and self-esteem. Internalizing these external forces allows them to breach your inner defenses. But the Stoics remind us that we cannot control the actions or opinions of others, only our reactions. Epictetus, a formerly enslaved person turned revered Stoic philosopher, said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Absolute freedom comes from self-mastery, not allowing the external world to disturb your inner peace. In today's hyper-connected world, where we are bombarded by opinions on social media and in daily life, it's more important than ever to build and protect your inner citadel. Modern Stoic thinkers suggest setting boundaries to safeguard your mental space. This could mean limiting your exposure to negative influences, avoiding unnecessary conflicts, or practicing digital minimalism to clear your mind from distractions. By being intentional about what you allow into your inner world, you can maintain the integrity of your citadel. One powerful way to strengthen your inner citadel is to create a personal code of values. Spend time identifying the principles that matter most to you: integrity, compassion, perseverance, or justice. Write them down and reflect on why they're essential. Then, when facing external pressures, criticism, or negativity, revisit your code and remind yourself of who you are and what you stand for. This grounding practice helps you anchor your sense of self and ensures that your happiness and peace come from within, not others. By building your inner citadel, you cultivate a mental stronghold that outside events cannot quickly shake. The Stoics believe that true power lies in this inner mastery. So, are you ready to define your values and create a place of refuge within yourself, one that stands firm no matter what storms may come? 5. Practicing mindful detachment. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by emotions in a difficult situation, unable to think clearly because of how deeply you felt? In such moments, finding perspective or making rational decisions can seem impossible. The Stoics believe that by practicing mindful detachment, we can learn to observe our emotions without becoming entangled, allowing us to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. This practice can lead to greater clarity and inner calm, even in the most challenging circumstances. Imagine watching a movie where you are the main character. By taking a step back and observing your life from a slight distance, you can gain a clearer perspective on your actions and choices. The Stoics taught that by becoming the observer of our lives, we can separate ourselves from the immediate rush of emotions and see the bigger picture. Seneca wisely noted, "He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary," reminding us that much of our pain comes from emotional reactions that could be avoided with detachment. Think about a time when a conflict or misunderstanding caused emotions to flare up. Maybe you said or did something you later regretted, driven by the heat of the moment. The Stoics encourage us to pause before reacting, to take a moment to breathe and reflect. This pause allows us to assess the situation more rationally, reducing the risk of escalating the problem. Modern psychologists, like Donald Robertson, advocate for cognitive distancing, a technique where we recognize that our thoughts and emotions are not always accurate reflections of reality. This awareness gives us the power to prevent irrational reactions. In today's fast-paced world, where emotions can run high and distractions abound, it's easy to get swept up in the whirlwind of events. But by practicing mindful detachment, we create a buffer between stimulus and response, giving ourselves the space to make thoughtful choices. This doesn't mean disengaging from life, but rather engaging more wisely. By observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment, we gain control over our responses and avoid unnecessary suffering. A simple method to cultivate this detachment is the stop technique. Stop, take a breath, observe, and then proceed. When you feel a strong emotional reaction, pause and take a deep breath. Observe your thoughts and emotions, acknowledging them without attaching judgment. Then, once you've gained some distance, proceed with a response that aligns with your values and reason. This mindful approach enhances self-control and helps prevent impulsive reactions that often lead to regret. By integrating mindful detachment into your daily interactions, you unlock the power to remain centered in the face of external turmoil. The Stoics believe that through this practice, you cultivate the emotional resilience needed to maintain your inner calm. Are you ready to adopt this simple yet powerful technique to strengthen the undefeatable Stoic within you? 6. Cultivating emotional resilience. Have you ever felt like your emotions controlled you rather than vice versa? We all face moments when emotions such as anger, anxiety, or fear seem overwhelming, leaving us feeling powerless. The Stoics believe that true strength comes from cultivating emotional resilience, the ability to manage our emotions rather than be ruled by them. By developing this inner strength, we can navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease and confidence. Picture your emotions like waves in the ocean. Some days they are calm. Other times they are stormy and turbulent. While we cannot stop these emotional waves from coming, the Stoics teach us that we can learn to surf them, using our inner strength to stay steady. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, reminds us, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Much of our emotional distress is rooted not in the events, but in how we interpret and react to them. By understanding and managing our emotions, we can significantly reduce unnecessary suffering. Remember when emotions improved. Perhaps you became angry during a disagreement or overwhelmed by anxiety over an uncertain outcome. In such moments, the Stoics advise us to pause and reflect before reacting. As Epictetus famously taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This perspective lets us choose our responses, even when emotions run high. We can make wiser choices by acknowledging our feelings without allowing them to dictate our actions. One powerful technique to build emotional resilience is reframing. When faced with an adverse event, we can view it more constructively instead of seeing it as a disaster. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." This means our emotional response is primarily shaped by how we interpret an event. By shifting our perspective, we can transform challenges into opportunities for growth and strengthen our emotional resilience. To put this into practice, start a habit of emotional journaling. Each day, set aside a few minutes to write about the emotions you experienced, especially those that challenged you. Identify what triggered those feelings and explore why you felt that way. Then, practice cognitive reframing by finding a positive or neutral way to interpret the situation. For example, if you face rejection, consider it a redirection towards something better. Over time, this practice will help you build greater control over your emotional landscape. By cultivating emotional resilience, you empower yourself to face life's uncertainties gracefully and confidently. The Stoics revered this ability to master emotions, seeing it as the key to unlocking the undefeatable Stoic within. Are you ready to take the steps toward emotional mastery and transform your inner world? What can you do today to begin this journey toward greater resilience? 7. Embracing the present moment. How often do you find yourself dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, missing the beauty of the present? Many of us live in this state of distraction, allowing the present moment to slip through our fingers as we chase after things beyond our control. The Stoics believe that true strength and contentment are found by fully embracing the present, focusing on the now as the only moment we truly have. By grounding ourselves in the present, we can unlock the undefeatable Stoic within and experience life in its whole form. Imagine time as a river continuously flowing, with each moment being a drop that passes and can never be retrieved. The Stoics teach that the past is gone, the future is uncertain, but the present is entirely within our grasp. The great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius emphasized, "Confine yourself to the present." This means we can find a wellspring of peace, clarity, and strength by anchoring ourselves in the present moment. Isn't it liberating to think that all the strength you need is simply being where you are? Think of the times when you've been fully present. Perhaps you were watching a sunset, engaged in deep conversation, or completely absorbed in a creative task. In those moments, all worries about the past and anxieties about the future faded, and you felt truly alive. Seneca said, "Begin at once to live, and count each day as a separate life." This Stoic wisdom reminds us that by fully inhabiting each moment, we enrich our lives immeasurably. In today's fast-paced world, distractions pull us in countless directions. Notifications, endless to-do lists, and the pressure to constantly achieve can make it difficult to focus on the here and now. Yet, modern Stoic thinkers like Ryan Holiday stress the importance of mindfulness and presence as essential for cultivating resilience and happiness. By consciously choosing to engage in the present fully, we reclaim our time and attention, often squandered on things that don't truly matter. One way to practice embracing the present is through mindfulness in daily activities. Choose a simple, routine task, whether eating a meal, walking, or even washing the dishes, and perform it with your complete attention. Notice the sensory details, the taste, textures, sounds, and sensations of what you are doing. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the task. This simple exercise strengthens your ability to stay present and helps you break free from the constant pull of distractions. By embracing the present moment, you tap into the power and peace that exist only in the now. The Stoics believe that by living fully in each moment, we can overcome the anxieties that weaken us and find strength in the present. Are you ready to let go of past regrets and future worries to seize the power of the present? What can you do today to fully ground yourself in the here and now, nurturing the undefeatable Stoic within you? 8. Aligning with nature, living in harmony with the universe. Do you ever feel disconnected from the world around you, as if you're out of sync with life's natural rhythms? In our fast-paced, modern world, losing touch with the more profound harmony surrounding us is easy. The Stoics believe that aligning ourselves with nature, living in harmony with the universe, was the key to unlocking inner peace and strength. We can find a greater sense of belonging and purpose by embracing this natural order. Imagine yourself as a single note in a grand symphony, where every instrument plays its part to create a masterpiece. The Stoics taught us that we are all interconnected, integral parts of a larger whole, the cosmos. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Everything harmonizes with me, which is harmonious to thee, O universe." This profound realization that we are part of something greater than ourselves can bring immense solace and direction. Isn't it comforting to know that, despite life's chaos, you have an essential place within the grand design? Consider the cycles of nature, the changing seasons, the rising and setting of the sun, the ebb and flow of the tides. The Stoics encouraged us to observe and learn from these patterns, understanding that change and challenges are natural life processes. Seneca observed, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." By aligning our lives with these natural rhythms, we can reduce our resistance to life's challenges and flow with them instead of against them. How much stress could we avoid by accepting that, like nature, life moves in cycles? It's easy to feel isolated today, especially when surrounded by technology and urban landscapes. Modern Stoic philosopher Massimo Pigliucci emphasizes reconnecting with nature to enhance well-being and deepen our philosophical understanding. Spending time in nature allows us to step away from distractions, gain perspective, and reconnect with the greater universe. Whether walking in the park or sitting quietly outdoors, engaging with the natural world brings clarity and peace. To align yourself with nature, make a conscious effort to engage with it regularly. Set aside time each week to walk through a park, hike a trail, or simply sit outdoors and observe your surroundings. Feel the wind on your skin, listen to the leaves rustling, and watch the clouds drift by. These experiences remind us of our connection to the universe and help us find calm in life's inevitable changes. By aligning your life with nature, you tap into the fundamental principles that govern existence. The Stoics believe that living in harmony with the universe leads to a deep sense of tranquility and inner strength. Are you ready to find your place within the grand design? What steps will you take today to harmonize your life with the natural world and nurture the undefeatable Stoic within you? 9. Mastering your inner narrative. Have you ever noticed how two people can experience the same event but perceive it differently? This happens because our thoughts shape our reality, filtering everything through the lens of our beliefs and judgments. The Stoics understood that by mastering our inner narrative, we can transform how we experience life's challenges. By consciously choosing how we interpret events, we unlock the potential to turn obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into stepping stones for growth. Think of your mind as a prism. When light passes through it, the angle it enters splits it into a spectrum of colors. Similarly, the Stoics taught that our minds act like prisms, filtering life's events through our internal judgments. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This means how we think about things directly shapes our emotional responses and outcomes. Isn't realizing you can choose the shade of your experiences empowering? Recall a time when a setback, like a missed promotion, a failed project, or a personal disappointment, left you feeling defeated. The Stoics would encourage you to examine your judgment of the situation. Instead of focusing on the negative, Epictetus asked, "Is this the only way to see this?" You change the entire narrative by shifting your focus from what went wrong to what you can learn or how to grow. As the Stoic philosophers remind us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In today's world, where social media and constant information streams often distort our perceptions, cultivating a clear and rational mindset is more important than ever. Modern Stoic philosopher Massimo Pigliucci emphasizes the practice of cognitive distancing, where we step back and observe our thoughts objectively without immediate judgment. This mental discipline helps us prevent negative interpretations from taking root, reducing stress and enhancing our decision-making abilities. One practical way to master your inner narrative is through daily reflection. When faced with a difficult situation, write down your initial thoughts and feelings. Then, challenge them by asking questions like, "Is this the only way to see it?" Or "What can I learn from this experience?" You gain control over your inner dialogue by consciously replacing negative interpretations with constructive alternatives. For instance, instead of viewing criticism as a personal attack, see it as an opportunity to improve. This shift in mindset can profoundly change the way you respond to challenges. By mastering your inner narrative, you take control of the story you tell yourself about your life. The Stoics believe that while we cannot dictate external events, we have the power to choose how we perceive and respond to them. Are you ready to adjust your inner lens and view the world more empoweringly? What steps will you take today to strengthen the undefeatable Stoic within you by mastering the art of perception? 10. The virtue of action. Living Stoicism daily. It's easy to understand Stoic principles in theory, but putting them into practice is a different challenge. How many times have you found yourself inspired by wisdom, only to struggle when it comes to applying it in everyday life? The Stoics believe that true strength doesn't merely know what to do, it lies in doing it. Wisdom, without action, is like a tree that bears no fruit. Committing to virtuous deeds transforms us and positively impacts those around us. Imagine an artisan who has spent years studying his trade but has not picked up a tool. Without action, all of his knowledge remains potential, never becoming reality. The same applies to Stoicism. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus emphasized this when he said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." To truly live as a Stoic is to turn theory into practice, letting wisdom guide our actions in every part of life. Knowing what is right is not enough. We must do what is right. Remember moments when you acted with courage, honesty, or kindness, even when difficult. These were moral decisions and opportunities to embody Stoic virtues in real life. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, reminded us, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Every day, every moment presents a chance to practice virtue, whether standing up for justice, exercising self-control, or showing compassion. These daily acts of virtue strengthen our character and inspire others to follow suit. In today's world, where we are often passive observers, consuming information and scrolling through endless news feeds, taking deliberate action has never been more critical. Modern Stoic thinkers like Ryan Holiday remind us that it's easy to fall into the trap of knowing without doing. We have more access to wisdom than ever, but it only becomes meaningful when we apply it. Living by Stoic principles means actively engaging with the world, taking responsibility for our actions, and letting our values guide everything. A practical way to begin is by setting a daily intention. Each morning, commit to performing at least one act that embodies a Stoic virtue, showing courage in a difficult situation, practicing patience, or helping someone in need. Reflect on how you lived up to that intention. How did it feel to act with virtue, and how did it affect your interactions with others? This small, daily practice brings Stoicism to life, deepening your sense of purpose and strength. By embracing action, you bring Stoic wisdom into the real world, transforming it from abstract thought into tangible deeds. The Stoics believed philosophy was not something to be debated endlessly, but lived boldly. Are you ready to take the next step and make Stoic principles an active part of your life? What will you do today to turn wisdom into action and awaken the undefeatable Stoic within you? Conclusion. Throughout this journey into Stoicism, we've explored powerful lessons that offer the keys to mastering life's challenges. From awakening an unshakable mind, embracing rational resilience, accepting fate with grace, building an inner citadel, and practicing mindful detachment, Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies within. By cultivating emotional resilience, grounding ourselves in the present moment, aligning with nature, mastering our inner narrative, and finally, turning wisdom into action, we unlock the undefeatable Stoic within. These principles aren't just abstract ideas but tools for everyday living. They show us that while we may not have control over external events, we always have the power to control our perceptions, our reactions, and, ultimately, our happiness. Stoicism offers a path to live with greater purpose, calm, and resilience. Now it's your turn. Are you ready to embrace and apply these Stoic teachings daily? Are you prepared to take control of your mind, your emotions, and your actions to become the master of your fate? The wisdom of Stoicism lies not in knowing what to do but practicing it daily. So, start small. Reflect at the end of each day, journal your thoughts, set daily intentions, and practice mindfulness. These simple habits can profoundly change how you navigate life's inevitable challenges. You already possess the strength to overcome adversity. The Stoic within you is waiting to be awakened. If you found this video helpful and want to continue exploring Stoic wisdom to enhance your life, subscribe to the channel. Don't miss the chance to dive deeper into these life-changing principles and learn how to cultivate lasting inner strength and resilience. Together, we can grow, reflect, and build a more meaningful life guided by the wisdom of Stoicism.